It's Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Let's talk Alabama quarterbacks. Alabama recently released some footage talking about the Alabama quarterbacks, and as you can see, you start with a quarterback like Jalen Milroe, and not trying to drive any sort of narrative. It's like you have this quarterback coming back who anyone in college football would be extremely elated to have as their quarterback. From what we saw on Wednesday's open practice, you had two rotations, and the first quarterbacks in that rotation were Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson, and you have a lot of opportunities for these quarterbacks to get reps. Nobody is standing around, honestly. It's like Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson are throwing at the exact same time. In the second group, what you notice is you have Lonergan, who everybody's really excited to see, and then you also have new addition right here, which is Mack. Now, I can tell you that Mack is an absolute unit. I mean, and what I mean by that is he's a tower, as you can see right here. And this is the second group of the two quarterback rotation. You have Mack on the left, number 10, and you have Lonergan on the right. And he just towers everybody, really. I mean, he's 6'6". I mean, look, right here, side by side, you can see just how big he is. Now, how does he throw a ball? I mean, that pass right there was pretty damn good, to be honest. So you have Coach Jalen Milroe right here, out here. And what you've seen with the offense so far in just this short amount of time that we've been able to see practice is you have Nick Sheridan with the headset, kind of similar, honestly, to my headset, talking to the quarterbacks, and they're working with all of the helmet communication systems right now. And then you have Jamarcus Shepard, and then you have Coach Jalen Milroe, who is also heavily involved in the offense. So that's kind of your three offensive coaches, if you will, working with the quarterbacks, the running backs, and the wide receivers, and the tight ends as well. Here's Jalen Milroe throwing a nice pass right there to number 24 down there. That was Emmanuel Henderson. A lot of people have been curious about Emmanuel Henderson. And here's another good freeze frame of Mack, Jalen Milroe, and Lonergan. And again, I say that the quarterbacks were in a two rotation. Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson, not pictured in this particular photo. He's probably to the right or something like that. But everybody is making throws. Nobody's just sitting around. And I love the intensity. And I had to dub out the music for copyright reasons, but there's a lot of intensity and the music is blaring. Like, it's up tempo. These guys are running all over, and here's Jalen Milroe right here throwing, and then Lonergan to the right. Another shot of Jalen Milroe, and to the left, that is Ty Simpson. You know, we saw Ty Simpson come in spot play last year, and I thought he did. When I think about Ty Simpson, I really think to that game against Kentucky, where, you know, not necessarily against South Florida when he came in, he did his thing, right? And he helped Alabama close out that game, and he moved past it. But I think we really saw a lot of growth in what he's capable to do in the opportunities that he had against Kentucky. I think clearly Ty Simpson could carry this team. He really could. I think he is a very capable quarterback. I think the same thing with Lonergan. We just haven't been able to see him have that many repetitions. Now with Jalen Milroe, I mean, we already know what Jalen Milroe is capable of, but I still feel that Jalen Milroe's ceiling is so high. And that's why I'm excited to see how these coaches can develop the overall quarterbacks within this unit. And I think when you look to a player like Mack, number 10 right here to the left, who knows? I mean, maybe the sky's the limit. They were clearly excited to get him here. He was committed to Washington. You had Julian Saint head out. And now you have Mack as a younger guy coming in who's big, tall. And one thing that I think sometimes is a misconception is just because you have Mack and he's kind of the quarterback that was the first quarterback that Jalen Milroe brought in, doesn't mean that he's going to go away from quarterbacks that have an escapability factor to them. You look at the prospects that are on their board right now. They're not just pro-style quarterbacks. They're still quarterbacks that have that escapability, and I think that you have to have a quarterback like that in today's world of college football to win big games, right? A Juju Lewis, a KJ Lacey, whoever it's going to be. So don't just think that, you know, Coach Jalen Milroe is going to go away from, a quarterback that has escapability or whatever and just go to a pro style. I don't think that's the case. I think, honestly, what he's going to do is just bring a quarterback in here that can facilitate the offense. So we've had just a couple small opportunities to see these guys work so far. And they're passing on air. We haven't seen any 11 on 11. So we kind of go back and look to what they did last year. How are they going to improve this year? And excited to see how the quarterbacks develop going into the spring season. Now, when you look to some of the weapons that Alabama has, it's exciting because I made a video just recently talking about Caleb Odom, and I get it. Sometimes when we talk about these freshmen that are coming in, the expectations are like out of this world. I said this on the video earlier. I don't think that's necessarily the case with a prospect like Caleb Odom. I think he's going to be a weapon that can be used on the outside to create mismatches. And then I was able to see Jeremy Bernard, the transfer from Washington, come in. He's very talented as well. You have Kendrick Law, who I felt, if I had to rank the wide receivers that I saw, it was tough because the wide receivers were on the far side of the field. I would probably say Kendrick Law is like the guy. Kobe Prentice, the guy. And I have to tell you how I feel. Like Caleb Odom was right up there. And look, he was just making, a couple catches on air, whatever. But I mean, he was impressive. You can ask anybody that was able to see him. It just was impressive. So, and that whole room is very talented. So you talk about the weapons that these wide receivers have, or these quarterbacks have. It's really exciting to see. I'm trying to think of another tight end who stood out. I would probably say Danny Lewis. Robbie Oots is always going to just be impressive because he's just like a physical type of a guy. But yeah, and think about this. The crazy thing is Ryan Williams isn't even here, right? Neither is Rico Scott. So Kendrick Law is an absolute baller for sure. And I like the fact that he just pops up to the front of the reps and he gets it going. So all these wide receivers just balling out, and can't wait to see kind of the weapons that Alabama has. Also, here's number 18 right here. This is Caleb Odom. So, excuse me, just really excited for this entire group and the quarterbacks overall. I mean, I was, it's a small sample size. It is what it is, but that's kind of your quarterback room. And I think going into this spring period, you got to think that Alabama across the board of college football still has one of the top I think, let me ask you this. I feel that this quarterback room is more talented overall than last year's quarterback room, right? I mean, I know we really haven't seen Austin Mack just, other than a couple throws or whatever, but let me ask you, Undefeated, run the thumbs up if you feel that this quarterback room as a whole is more talented than last year's quarterback room. I would agree, I think because and it's easy to say now because I think you kind of look back at like Tyler Buckner's shortcomings or whatever. Overall, this group, like how can you go wrong with Milroe, Simpson, Dylan Lonergan? I don't know. I think that these quarterbacks is certainly, a better group than they were last year collectively. And now I feel that it's early on. I mean, they just got here. But I kind of get the sense that these coaches as well, specifically working with the quarterbacks, are better than last year's guys that were working with the quarterbacks. And I don't like to say that this guy is always better than the last guy, but it just seems like there's a better emphasis on the quarterback position from what I've heard, from what I've seen. So we'll continue to see how it plays out. But overall, just breaking down the quarterback room. So I appreciate you guys being here. Please hit the thumbs up, like and subscribe, and we appreciate you being a subscriber right here at Bama Football on YouTube. My name is Kyle Henderson, and we'll catch you next video.